Welcome to Teal Talk, an ovarian cancer podcast from the National Ovarian Cancer Coalition. We bring you trusted voices from experts and survivors to advocates to inform, support, and empower you throughout your journey. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on social media at NOCC National. This episode is made possible thanks to the support of people like you and our generous sponsors, GSK and Merck. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Teal Talk. I'm your host, Lauren Ashley German. Today, I'm joined by Gwendolyn Taylor. Gwen is an ovarian cancer survivor, an advocate, and someone whose journey reminds us what strength really looks like. So let's start at the beginning of your story. When did you start feeling like something may not be right?
For starters, I was really tired, extremely tired, not like a normal, like I had a long day tired. This one was different. And then the other thing was my stomach was protruding. It was getting bigger and bigger as if I was like 6 months pregnant.
So that was when you first thought, okay, this isn't right. And then how many doctors do you think you talked to before you actually got a diagnosis?
Yes, I went to 2 emergency rooms and I saw 2 different doctors. So it was about 4 months before I had a diagnosis.
And you were young
I was extremely young. I was 45.
with a young son at home.
With a 5-year-old at home, not to mention I also take care of my 85-year-old mother who was waiting for me to come back from the emergency room.
And you didn't.
I did not.
Not at first.
Not at first. It was 4 months, maybe. It's like heading towards Thanksgiving when I got to come home. So about 4 months I spent in 3 different hospitals.
You know, you and I've talked a lot about your journey and your story, and what I think is so important about your story is what you have said to be a turning point in your treatment. So talk to me a little bit about what it meant to finally feel like your voice was being heard.
Yes. By the time I got to Memorial Sloan Kettering, I met Dr. Cara Long. She was the first person to give me a complete understanding as to what was happening in my body and what needed to happen in order for me to be well. That was the first experience where I felt actually heard.
And that's wild, right? 4 months after you first started seeing symptoms, you finally meet Dr. Long. What did it feel like to hear the words ovarian cancer at that point in your journey?
I was in a state of shock. I had no idea. Wait, what? Ovarian cancer? I expected, people go to the hospital all the time. You get some medicine, you come home. My family, we don't have a long history of any cancers, and I'm a fairly healthy woman. I don't drink, there's no drugs, none of those things. I was healthy. So as far as I could see, this would have been really quick. So hearing the words, you have ovarian cancer, was almost like a death wish in some instances.
And through your relationship with Dr. Long, that's how you were introduced to the NOCC. So how did being part of the National Ovarian Cancer Coalition's community shape your journey?
Yes. So I met a wonderful volunteer at NOCC, Nancy, and she was remarkable. First, she kind of just gave me comfort and understanding like what was happening. As a survivor herself, she was able to attest what this feels like because it's hard for people to understand. You have to actually be in it. You have to be a part of it. She navigated me through treatment, through recovery, introducing me to NOCC, having me join their support online conversations, meeting women all around the world who was experiencing the same thing as me, and then also to all the wonderful gifts that I would get from NOCC. I got gift bags, I got cups and mugs and socks, and it just felt like somebody cared, like they got it. That was so important to me.
And you have a strong support system at home.
Absolutely.
You have your church, your family, your friends.
So how was the NOCC community different from the support system that you already had?
Mhm. My mom, she tried her best to comfort me, my sisters, my church, but they weren't losing their hair. They weren't losing weight. They weren't in a space where they may not live. They didn't have those risks. So while it was beautiful that they were there, they just really couldn't understand. So being at NOCC and reading other people's survivor stories and how many years they had after cancer, they say, oh, you have 5 years. And here I am coming on 5 years. And I'm like, okay, so this is it? No, look at me. I'm thriving. And so just being able to be a part of NOCC and understanding there are women just like me fighting, surviving, thriving, and doing great things after.
After everything you've been through, talk to me about how your outlook has changed.
Oh, I see the world differently. I see the world so differently. I treat people differently. You never know what other people are facing. You never know what people are going through. People show up, they smile, and you don't have any idea the challenges that they're facing. And it's expected, I think, for women, moms, to just show up. So I learned just to give hope, to be kind, to be patient, to be a blessing, and to give people grace.
That's so amazing. And, I think I'm really excited for people to hear about what you're working on now. After everything you've gone through and all your trials and tribulations, you have turned that into pa- a passionate project. Tell us a little bit
Absolutely.
about that.
So, first thing is, I am an author of Pick to Survive. It's a testament about my ovarian cancer journey and all the wonderful people who have helped me along the way. I'm also a second year PhD student at Adelphi University. And I'm just so proud. And my family, everybody is doing really well. And I've been very blessed and very fortunate just to have a connection with NOCC.
What's one important message that you'd want everyone listening to take away from your story?
I said it before, and I'll say it again. Fight. Fight for your life. Fight.
Thank you so much, Gwendolyn, for sharing your story with us. Your voice is so powerful, and I know that it's going to make a difference in someone listening today.
Thank you for the opportunity. I love it. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Teal Talk. We'd love your feedback. Take our quick survey linked in the description or drop a comment with your questions and topic suggestions. For more information about the National Ovarian Cancer Coalition and our mission, visit ovarian.org. Until next time, stay informed, stay empowered, and take care.